sneeze, and that was the end. I'm just wild about animal crackers, animal crackers. I can't live without animal crackers, bears and tigers haunt me all day. And whenever I am at a swell cafe, say all I order is animal crackers, firecrackers won't do. Goodness gracious, I'm no chump, I just bit off a camel's hump. Animal crackers, I love you. I went to the animal fair, the birds and the beasts were there. The old baboon by the light of the moon was combing his auburn hair. And the monkey, he got drunk and sat on the elephant's trunk. The elephant sneezed and fell on his knees, and that was the end of the monk.
There are two things that all of us in this room, well, 2 out of the 3 of us, love. We all love women, but 2 of us absolutely love rock. Tonight, we put the 2 together. We're going to talk about women who rock. We're also going to cover the NHL game from last night. We're going to talk about a fundraiser that's going on, and we're going to have all sorts of good fun. Tonight, episode 200, not the celebration, but episode 200, none the least, Women Who Rock, right here on the Loki and Jabroni Show. Ed, hit that funky music, white boy. Boom! You know what? Feminists around the world are scared as shit right now because, you know what? We are actually going to talk about women who rock. Like we're talking about rock and roll music in general, just women who freaking rock, and all the people who for all these years have said, "Oh, the Loki and Jabroni show are misogynistic, chauvinistic motherfuckers." Fuck you, cunt. We're doing a service to you right now.
Well, you can't
What?
say you can't say misogynistic and then fuck you cunt in the same
No,
sentence.
because those people are cunts. Not all of them, but some of them. Not all of them.
I would say fuck you, dude.
We'll wait till 6:45 to do that. Welcome once again to the Loki and Jabroni Show. My name is Chris Burns. I am the Jabroni. I am the Redneck Adonis. To my immediate right, interim co-host for the next 5 weeks.
Strikers Big Lynch.
And in the box, as
the
always,
man in the box on his cell phone gimmick right now.
watching midget
Eddie
porn.
Folk us.
What's up?
How you
Hello.
doing, bro?
I'm good.
So what I'd like to do right now is I know we usually go around the table and ask what's on your mind, but I got a big one. It may take the entire
No,
15 minutes.
Chris, I've talked to Angela. You do not have a big one.
I do have a big one. She lies because she doesn't want to get your feelings hurt. She knows your wife.
She's
So,
never seen mine.
If Eddie could do me a favor
Her
and
sister
hit,
did.
let's not talk about that. Eddie, can you hit the sports reel real quick so we can get into this? So in case
the sports reel with the noticeably absent Loki's face.
and he'll be back in 5 weeks. Loki, we love you. By the way, real quick before we start, I got a text message from a listener last night saying, as much as I love the show and he's a weekly listener, he thinks having you here has been an interesting breath of fresh air. He's very cool with your appearance here, and he's been listening intently. He thinks you bring a different perspective. We can make this a four-headed monster. We could, but there's only so much room here in Valhalla Underground.
So, but a quick point on that
Yes.
is that I feel the first week that Mike is back, Loki's back.
What did I do? You said that?
I'm keeping him encouraged.
Okay, here's your buck. Yeah,
There we
you
go.
don't- you don't want
Tuck in
that?
The Patreon take isn't that much, brother.
No, you might want to give that back to him.
No,
quick
but
with your point.
But real quick point, I want to say that the week that Loki comes back, I want to be here. I want to.
Oh,
I want to
absolutely.
be the third host on the forehead monster,
Absolutely.
and I just want to extend again my sincere. It's an honor.
He's
to
gonna
be
cry
here.
Thank
again.
you.
I'm not gonna cry.
Don't cry.
I want to thank the Academy.
Oh,
I want
my
to thank
Lord.
Harvey Weinstein for grabbing my ass and putting his
Oh,
finger in my
Lord,
asshole.
Here we go. Anyway, Loke, we can't wait till you
Fuck
get
Trump.
back. Fuck Trump. That could be the huge 200. This is episode 200, but without Loki, it doesn't seem the same. We'll have the celebration when he comes back.
Nonetheless, on 200 episodes,
Go
and
ahead.
I was on one. I was on what, the third one?
Third, fifth, or sixth. I'm not sure.
It was early
real
on.
early.
It's an honor to still be here, still be invited back, and still going strong 200 episodes later.
Much
whether-
appreciated.
Whether Loki's here or not, this is a huge milestone for you guys.
Much appreciated. Thank
and
you
I was
so
gonna,
much.
I was gonna put that shout out either at the end of the show, but you brought it up. So
We
I'm
can
gonna
do it
say
again
now.
at the end of the show. First of all, thank you to Loki, who's not here.
Love you, Mike.
Getting here was no easy task. There were times all three of us wanted to give up, but we see the bigger picture, and that's cool. Thank you to you for filling in so
And there were
gloriously.
There were people early on that said, "What the fuck are you guys wasting your time?"
They
on
said
this
6
with?"
months.
Why,
And here
well,
we
why
are.
are you wasting your time on this?
Because it's a labor of love. It's fun, and people enjoy it. I mean, there's a reason why 13 countries listen to us.
And there's a reason why that people do what they're passionate.
Mhm.
I'm doing a job right now that I'm passionate about. It's way under my skill set.
I got 10 minutes. Can you finish this up?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's under my skill set.
It certainly
But
is.
you know what? I fucking love it
And
because I'm saving animals and I'm servicing people that give a shit about animals.
And by the way, it was an honor to be included and to
And
be a part of that this past Saturday, the adoption event. My favorite dog went quick. It's unfortunate.
Yes, it did.
I tried to steal it, and I got stopped by, I think her name was Michelle, if that was her name.
Yeah,
if that was
Michelle.
her real name.
Yeah.
I tried to put the little dog in the car. No, right away. So
She bum rushed a fucking show, yo.
hell yes. Thank you to Eddie who came on real early on with the brainchild. You know it's fucked up, and then I think it was about 6 months in. Mike and I had a long discussion on a Sunday night, broached the subject to Eddie on a Thursday night, and by that next week, full-time Jones ever since. So tip of the hat to you, sir. Thank you. 200 episodes, man.
Thank you, my
You know, there's a
friend.
lot of podcasts that don't make it this far. You are in elite air right now.
We're
all in
There's
elite
a lot
air.
of sitcoms
The-
that don't make
The
it out.
magic number is 6.
6 years?
6 episodes.
6 yeah, pretty
Most
much.
podcasts
There's
into 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of sitcoms that don't make out of the first season.
All right, so I got 8 minutes.
And there's some that last
So
too long.
go.
Yes, finish your point real quick. There's some that what?
Last too long.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Friends.
If you missed last
Come
night's
on.
Eastern Conference semifinals, the Boston Bruins come away with the victory against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm thrilled. I'm wearing my Bruins gear right now, ready to move on to face the Carolina Hurricanes, also known as the real Hartford Whalers. And I've got 2 points I want to make real quick. Point number 1, Charlie McAvoy with the hit in the third period.
So we just watched this just before the podcast, the three of us, and we watched it in slow-mo,
And super slow-mo.
super slow-mo.
Oh, my God, in every
up
slow-mo
close.
you could.
And up close and personal. What in the actual fuck?
Couple of fucking thugs.
No, not a couple, one thug. And
I
I'll
will
get
go
to
with-
this in a minute.
I agree I understand where Eddie's coming from with Chara,
Chara was a non-factor in the play.
but instead, let's just focus on the actual offender,
Charlie McAvoy.
Charlie McAvoy. What in the actual fuck was he thinking?
Headhunting. That's all it was, is
And-
headhunting.
And how did he only get a 2-minute?
I'll explain that and before you got here, I was talking to Eddie about it. There have been some real piss poor calls in this entire series. One where the Blue Jackets, is Seth Jones, no relation to any Jones I ever talk about,
Jabroni Jones.
hits one off the crossbar. It goes up into the netting above the plexi. Now, if it hits the netting, Lynch, what happens?
I'm
Play is dead.
Play is
If the
dead.
puck hits the
Yeah.
net, the play is dead. The puck bounces off the net, comes back into play. Somebody slaps it in. It's a goal. They go to New York. They do the thing. No call. It's a goal. There was another call against the Bruins, and there was a couple against the Blue Jackets that, even the guys on NBCSN who are notorious Bruins haters will say, oh, well, that's okay. Da-da-da. I think that in this game, they were making up for a lot of calls. And the call against McAvoy, which should have been game misconduct, you're out of the game and suspended for the next game, turned into a 2-minute minor for a head check. The Toronto series before Toronto played Boston to determine who was going into the finals in 2011.
Right. I know exactly
And the
where you're
guy
going
hit
with
him.
this.
He was bent and his ass was pointed toward the board. The guy hit him shoulder to shoulder, pushed him against the board, ruptured a vertebrae. Luckily, a year later, Robert Stamos, he came back. But no, Steven Stamkos. My mistake. Stamos was on another team. So,
But
again,
again,
it's headhunting.
it's a play that could have killed the fucking other player.
Exactly.
You're putting yourself. Hockey's a dangerous sport to begin with.
Yep.
I don't remember what year it was. Well, who the victim in this was, but do you remember when the guy got hit with the
Clint
skate
Malarchuk,
in the neck?
Buffalo Sabres, Clint
and cut his
Malarchuk,
fucking neck open,
carotid
and
artery.
bleeding.
You can
And
see that video.
every person on the fucking ice
stopped.
came over, assisted him, and tourniqueted him
Mm-hmm.
so he could live.
And he did, and he came back.
and including the refs.
Yeah. That hit last night, not quite in the Clint Malarchuk. That was a happy accident that just, wow. 1 in a million.
But again, it's a hit that you have to question and say, what the fuck?
Well, if you want to talk about questioning, going into this week's Eastern Conference Finals is the Boston Bruins against Carolina Hurricanes, formerly the Hartford Whalers, and now the Whalers fans are coming out. All the people in green and blue are coming out saying, yeah, we made it. Hey, asshole, for the last 20-some years since they left Hartford, you've been rallying against Carolina. But now they're playing the Bruins in the finals. That's all it is. It's sour grapes. Your team left. Our team exists. Thank you, fuck you, bye.
And who's the minor league that's still in Hartford now?
Hartford Wolfpack. They tried
Wolfpack.
for a couple years,
So-
the Connecticut Whale.
So here we go. The people that are supporting Carolina
Mm-hmm.
do not support their own fucking farm team.
No. There are a lot of, I will say this, not all of them. There are some really great Whaler fans that I've known along the years that have actually continued their season tickets with the Hartford Wolfpack or the Connecticut Whale. But when they turned it to the Whale, attendance went down.
Why?
People wanted their Wolfpack because the Wolfpack was there for 10 years. That was their hockey.
When I was in college, when we were in college, if you're going to a hockey game, which two teams do you go to?
Whalers, Bruins.
Bruins?
Yeah.
Fucking Hartford Whalers.
You know why you go to the Whalers game? Because you could buy a ticket way up there, and by the end, you're way down here near the ice.
But
Because nobody cared about the team.
well, not even beyond that. The way the team played, they played with passion. They played.
I'll
with,
give you that.
They played with dedication, and they played like they fucking gave a shit. They were like a college team looking to prove themselves.
You want to go see a great college hockey? Go Providence College at Schneider Arena on any given night.
PCC is fucking
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Holy shit, they're amazing.
Fantastic.
And like I told you, we went to the Yard Dogs game
Yes.
last week, and they hit a grand slam in the first inning, up by a run, and ended up losing. But the passion that you see in the home team was amazing.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, anybody listening, watching, what have you, Hartford, Connecticut cannot sustain a major league franchise. They tried it, they failed.
The reason
it's over.
The reason being is because it's such a congested area. Like where the
Oh, like
where,
Hartford?
yeah.
Forget it.
where the Dunkin' Donuts Stadium is. It's,
right off the highway.
It's right off it's right off of 91 and Route 2.
Yep.
However, the problem being is that it disrupts the business surrounding it. Hartford's the insurance capital of the world. Was at one point, but still, it's number 3 now in the world, and that you have
I'd be surprised.
No, I think it's number 3 still.
I'll have to look into that.
No, I
I
know
never-
a lot of
You go on the health exchange. There's only 2 companies.
Well, I know a lot of companies left
Yeah.
years and years ago because of bullshit that happened here in Connecticut, but it still disrupts a bunch of insurance business and local business. You have City Steam, you have
Bar with No Name, which I don't know still exists, is
I
right across from the
think
XL Center.
I think it does,
It's
but then
not
you have
that anymore,
and
though, I don't
that's
think.
the other thing. The XL Center, you're in direct competition with anything that goes on in the XL Center.
So if you got Miley Cyrus going on
So
there,
if you have
yeah,
if you have a game and an event going
2
on,
blocks away from each other.
you're fucked.
There's
There's no
also-
getting in or out.
Connecticut also lost one of their biggest arenas, like 20 some odd years ago in New Haven. So there's like no alternative.
No,
19. Wow, you're right. Oh
Yeah.
shit,
20
right,
years.
beginning of the 2000s.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it's fun. The reason I know that is because one of the very last events there was one of the first raves in Connecticut.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
what the fuck was it?
2001.
New Haven Coliseum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coliseum.
I loved going to shows there, whether it was Kiss or wrestling or I went one time
That's
for
one-
one of those
that's
monster truck events.
One of the first places I saw
So-
Metallica during
There you
Injustice
go.
for All
So if you got like
in '88.
forget Mohegan Sun. So if you only got like one major arena supporting all the entertainment,
well,
you
now
can't,
with
you
the
can't handle all
with the
that.
advent of the arena at Harbor Yard in Bridgeport, you got the Mohegan Sun Arena, you got Hartford that has been refurbished so wonderfully. If you haven't been to Hartford Civic Center, XL Center, where I always call it by the old name.
I have heard really good things.
And
about
speaking
that
of
place.
calling things by the old name, we're going to call our special guest who is going to pimp a particular
dude,
fundraiser. Dude, he'll tell you the same thing. We call things by the way we remember them. And as you hear the phone ringing, we're
I
away from
still
the
call it Great Woods.
absolutely
to this day.
Meadows.
My mom still says take a left at Mr. Biggs.
Yeah,
Mr. Biggs, Mr. Biggs.
Mr. Biggs was the shit
It was
back in the day.
fucking awesome, wasn't it?
Hello.
Hello.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. The Baron of Beer, the Chancellor of Cheese, one half of the evil genius that could have been the band Cheeseburger Tattoo, the one and only Jim Lollimer. Jim, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Say hello to interim co-host Chris Lynch.
Chris Lynch. Hey,
Yes.
Chris Lynch, how are you?
Jim, I miss you, bro. How you doing?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm doing well,
And
really well.
Don't forget the man in the box, the man of the power, all of that crazy bullshit I say every week, Mr. Eddie Focus.
What's up? Man, I
Hey,
keep
Eddie,
bumping
how are you,
into
brother?
at Target.
You guys run into each other at Target. Target's for rich white people.
Kind of on a regular basis, yeah.
You know
No
how,
shit.
You know how I know you two are gay? you shop at Target.
Because we dated Target. That's okay.
Well, Jim, the reason I called upon you to join us tonight, and you have another little special guest with you. There's a particular fundraiser you would like to push upon the people, and I couldn't think of a better fundraiser. Tell the folks what you're talking about.
Well, youngest and prettiest daughter. Well, the prettiest of the two. I'm in deep shit now.
Of two.
He's gonna get murdered in his sleep tonight.
She's
I
very
am.
she's very humble.
Someone's
So,
Facebook's getting hacked again.
So,
Yeah.
Darby, you want to say hi?
Hi,
Hey,
Darb!
Darby.
What's up?
We'll talk to you in a minute. We love you, but seriously, Jim, give us the what in a while for.
So my youngest daughter is she's legally blind, and she competed in the 2019 Braille Institute Challenge, which is basically held in the United States and Canada, and she finished in the top 50 this year. She finished in the top 10 in her age brackets in the 3rd and 4th grade. So, which means we will be going out to the University of Southern California for on weekend of June 21st to compete against the other 49 finalists.
Awesome.
So
Wow.
basically, it was spelling, it was reading comprehension, it was reading, and she just she nailed it. She's for those of you who know Darby, she's a smart kid. She's
Probably
special.
one of the smartest kids I've ever
Oh,
met.
easily.
Well, her and Alex both.
Yeah.
Your other daughter, Alex, was amazing.
When Jim's kids, Jim first appeared on our show, I said, please bring the kids. And Alex had an extended interview where she motherfucked her dad so much. It was hilarious, and he had to sit there and take it. But when Darby...
Potty mouth.
Right? But
Children may be listening now.
when Darby came on, it was refreshing. She just came out there. It's like, what are you guys doing? Why am I here? Oh, I can talk to people. Let's do this. But Jim and I roomed together Jim and I were both in the process of a divorce at the time. And Darby, no matter what she was doing, bundle of energy, bouncing like a frog, amazing kid. No matter how tired I was, Chris, can we please sit and read this book? Yes, Darby, we can. I didn't care if I lost sleep. That kid is amazing, and that's why I wanted to bring this to the public's attention. Darby deserves your help. Jim, if you can explain to the folks, why is Darby legally blind?
Darby has what's called Hallerman-Streiff syndrome, which when she was born in 2009, she was one of about 250 people ever to have had this syndrome. Basically, it's from two recessive genes. Just a shit show, shit luck that it happened. Basically means, she's smaller stature. She's legally blind. Smaller ears, smaller eyes, stuff like that. But cognitively, she is above and beyond.
She's leaps and bounds beyond any other kid.
Anybody her age that I know.
I know 30-year-olds that aren't as smart as Darby.
And I will attest to that. I've known Darby since she was born.
Yeah, same.
I was there when she was a newborn, and I have to say, at 3 years old, she was like the smartest kid on the block.
And just to go ahead.
And given the odds that she faced at the time, she was leaps and bounds above the kids in her age bracket.
Now, even now, just to listen to her talk, in the few times I get to see her now, just verbally, her grammar, her diction, her smarts. You could say something about shoes, and she's like, "Well, that's incorrect. Let me explain to you why you're incorrect, you rotten whatever." And she'll nail you to the wall, and she'll smile.
It's like you're talking to an educated 40-year-old.
Amen.
But she's a
she's leaps and bounds above where she should be.
Amen.
She's a 60-year-old scholar trapped in a 9-year-old body.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, I mean, I've never met a kid who was more articulate, more relatable,
and sure of herself,
and self-assured. And you guys, as you and Jen had raised her to be confident.
Yeah, let's give a little shout out to Jen real quick. We have to.
I mean, you have to, because between the two of you this wasn't just her on her own back. It was Jim and Jen.
No, absolutely.
And you have to give a lot of props to Alex, who really, really took that mantle.
And Alex stepped up as the big sister, and the three of you made this kid be self-assured and confident in who she is. And in her eyes, she has no disability, and
No.
in my eyes, she doesn't.
And I think anybody who knows her doesn't see a disability at all.
No, and in my eyes,
When
Jim,
you see her as Darby.
No, she's the best.
in my eyes and Chris's eyes, anybody who's met her, Megan's eyes, she's not disabled.
Mm-hmm.
She's not handicapped.
No, not
She's
at all.
handy capable.
You know, and I'll
You
say
know?
this in the beginning when obviously I just mentioned that Jim and I were roommates when I was going through the divorce and all that, and my daughter would come down, and Emma wasn't sure how to approach Darby until basically I was like, Darby is a child like you, and all inhibitions went away, and Darby and Emma became fast friends. It was just you just look at someone as a human being, and when it's in your face like that, you can look at someone with their kid in Walmart and like, oh my God, again, when it's in your face, you learn to deal with it in a certain, I don't know how to put this, but you deal with it in a certain way.
You just learn that people are people.
You're
Folks are
damn
folks.
right, kid.
And you don't look at what they can't do. You look at what they can do.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And that your kid Darby proves what the spirit's about and what children can do facing adversity.
Oh yeah.
And given a handicap, I'm doing finger quotes. I don't know if you're watching or not, but handicap. She proves that she is an advocate for any kid who has her syndrome, who is experiencing what she's gone through. She learned
What can be.
and what can be. She learned Braille at 4 years old. She was
Yeah.
she was the most articulate 4-year-old I've ever met in my fucking life.
You know, a funny story is she would have the same book that she would want me to read to her, and it was like 9,000 pages. Jim, the Ocean book, if you remember it.
Oh, we still have
Hey,
it.
Chris, can you read War and Peace to me
No,
tonight?
wait. Before we get Darby on here to explain why she needs our help,
Can you read some Tolstoy?
she's
to me?
like, she throws this book on my lap, like she carried it like she was Hercules, threw it on my lap. Thud! Oh Christ, I got bruises now.
Oh, Kafka!
Chris, can you read the Ocean book? And I swear this kid had it memorized because I would skip sentences. She goes, wait, you missed something. What did I miss? And because of her glasses and her eyes, she'd put her face right up to the page. She goes, here's what you missed. This sentence right here. And she'd read it. I'm like, you knew that. She memorized the damn book.
And that just proves to you that people who are painted in the corner being handicapped are not.
They're not handicapped.
They're
They're
not-
handy capable.
The rest,
Well,
the
I said-
rest
I
of
said-
your senses enhance.
Exactly.
Because you make
Yeah.
your rest of your senses make up for what your deficiencies are.
Yeah.
So blind people are more cognitive.
They can hear better.
They hear
Mhm.
better.
Yeah.
They retain information better. Same thing with people that are deaf.
Well,
They see things
sure.
because
They-
their
they-
entire world is sight.
But I'll tell you this, there's no way, and because I've known him for 20 years, there's no way Jim read this entire book to her, so she had to have read this book by herself. No offense, Jim, I've seen you tear through The Dirt in 2 days, one of the greatest rock and roll books ever written, which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Shitty movie, but anyway.
But there's no way you read every word in that book. She memorized that on her own. She could tell me you missed this.
Yeah, her mind's a steel trap. It
Oh
really
my
is.
God, she's amazing.
And there's nothing she does not forget, and she remembers everything.
Right, and
does.
without further ado, I'd like to, if you could, Jim, if Darby wants to say something about her fundraiser, please bring her on.
I think she would like to say something. So
All
I'm gonna
right.
give her the phone, and she's got a nice stripe of sharp marker down her nose right now.
Oh, not quite sure why, but
And I want you to hold the phone. And I want you to talk to Chris and Chris.
Okay.
hello, Darby Marie Lallemere.
Hello, Darby.
Hi, how do you know my middle name?
Because I lived with you for 6 years, and the other guy is Stinky, so we know you.
So it's Uncle Chris and Uncle Stinky.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi,
How you doing, Darby?
Good.
So
Awesome.
you're raising money right now to go to California. So impressive. I'm so proud of you. Tell the people why it's important that they should donate to you.
I think it's important because this really means a lot. It's the first contest that I've ever been in, and I really not even win. I'd like to be out there, experience what it's like to actually be in a contest. I actually got an email from somebody else who was in the contest today, and she said that it was really sweet of her to email me because she was giving me advice and things, and it was really nice of her to do that.
You know, listen to the way this young lady talks.
No,
You forget she's 9.
Take her age into perspective.
I think she's 20.
And I'm actually tearing up listening to
I
her
know.
talk about this.
Same.
Seriously, because I've known her since she was an infant.
Same.
I held her the second day she was born.
Wow.
I mean, this is a kid who, again, is facing this adversity, this disability, which I think is more of a superpower.
Yeah.
to me.
Seriously, you're a superhero, Darb.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, and I want Darby from Uncle Stinky, from the bottom of my heart, I love you, and I want you to do really, really well. I'm choking up, dude.
Go ahead. I'll take it from
Seriously.
here. Hey, Darbs.
Hey,
just
sit
for,
back, plug in, and man up.
Yeah,
bro.
seriously, Darby. From me, from all those times you would jump on me when I was tired, and you want me to read the Ocean book, and you want to just sit and chat, and you want to do everything, and I never.
That's what it was called.
What, sit and
We
chat?
call it sit and chat, and we'd sit there for like a half an hour.
I
and
know.
talk.
No matter how tired I was, no matter how beat, I always made time, and it was one of the best things I could have done while I was there in the compound there in Brooklyn, Connecticut. But what I'd like to tell you now is I get paid on Thursday. I'll be putting money into your GoFundMe, and hopefully all of our listeners around the world will be putting some money into your GoFundMe. You can find it on the Loki and Jabroni Show Facebook page. You can find it also on the C&J Speedway Review Facebook page and my personal Facebook page. So, Darby, we hope you reach your goal.
And mine as well. My
you-
personal Facebook page as well. And Darby, I'm going to donate $50 when I get home.
Nice. And Darby,
Oh, thanks.
Darby, one thing I want you to promise. I want you to go out there and kick their ass and come home the champion.
I wish I could. I don't know.
Don't wish, do it. That's what you've always been about. Don't wish, do it.
And one thing I can say to you, Darby, Uncle Stinky, is that you face things head on, and you face things, and you're very humble about how you approach things.
Well, mostly
And
humble.
even
She
i-
tells me all the
and
time how
even i-
smart she is.
Well, even if you lose, you're still a winner. And just remember, we all love you, and we want the best for you.
Thanks.
You're
and
welcome.
tell your dad to get off his fat butt and come down and do another show with us.
Dad.
I will. That way.
Dad.
Go to another show with them.
Oh my fucking God.
Once school is done, he will.
Once what's done?
School.
Oh, you got it, kid. I'm going to write that down. Darby, all the best of luck. And we're behind you. We're all going to put something into your GoFundMe, and hopefully our listeners will do the same. Thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
And tell your dad he still sucks.
Dad.
What?
Still sucks.
Out of here.
The kid has no filter, and that's why I love her.
That's the best. Real Darb, are you still on the phone?
That was really a relief to say.
Do you want to know a quick Darbyism?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So we were playing War last week, and we were sitting there, and I took 2 of her aces in one war.
Nice.
And she looked at me, and she goes, she's like, I'm so mad. And she goes, Dad, she goes, can I stick up my middle finger at you?
No, it was when you praised me.
So and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, okay.
Go for it. Give it to me, kid.
But she was nice enough to actually ask beforehand.
It's like the first time I heard, and Jim, you have a story like this, and we told it on the show before when you were here. First time I heard my daughter say "fuck." It's a rite of passage.
Well, speaking of daughters who say fuck,
Oh Christ!
I think Alex wants to have her 13 seconds of fame.
Okay,
If that's okay.
Put her
Bring-
on.
bring
Put
it
her
on.
on, brother.
ladies and gentlemen, while they're transferring the phone, this is the master of Facebook hacking.
The master of disaster.
I know.
The Facebook hacker.
When I look at something on Facebook and it says, "Hey, I'm gonna be out of the country because of a Starbucks barista, and I'm bald and all," I'm like,
I'll
Alex
be in
has done it again.
Venezuela.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alexandra
Lallemere.
Joy Lallemere. Alex, what do you got for us?
I'm very glad that you remember me for that.
I remember you for a lot of other things, kid, but that right now in your teen years is the pinnacle. It's like every time I see something funny on Dad's page, I say, Alex is at it again.
It's Alex.
I'm disappointed that it turns out not to be true.
That's not funny.
It is friggin' awesome. It is awesome, Alex. Don't listen to your father.
Lights and thunder. That's all I got to say.
Lights and thunder. When I see...
Fuck you.
That will be a story I tell when Jim comes back on
Yes.
the podcast.
Lights and thunder.
Doing that at his wedding, at his funeral, like wherever.
You're damn right, Alex. You're damn right.
When Chris and I give his eulogy at his funeral.
Oh, I told Jim years ago when he dies, my eulogy will say Jim Lollimer was the only man I ever knew that could make the word fuck artistic.
Inappropriate in a sentence.
Any sentence.
Any sentence in any tense.
Alex, what would you like to tell the people?
About Dad?
Anything.
About anything.
You wanted 13 seconds of fame. We got it. We're about to go into our topic.
Oh, well, Dad's real nice. He lets me motherfucker a lot.
Your mother's listening, by the way.
Are you fucking kidding? Alex, I have waited. Alex, I gotta say, I have waited how many years to hear you say mother. I've known you since you were newborn, and you're.
Say it again if you want.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, say it.
It's a good thing it's sweeps
Daddy,
week.
why don't you say it?
Okay, so me and Dad were
No, say the word.
no.
Oh.
You have to pay Darby to swear.
No,
Darby.
Darby's in a contest. She can't be
Yeah,
on tape.
Darby's
She
trying
can't-
to raise
She
money.
can't be on tape saying motherfucker.
Darby has to behave.
He wanted to kick me off the couch, and he did. And he pushed me off the couch. I landed on my knees, got up, looked at him, and said, "F you." And then
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Savage. Absolutely savage.
Right at Passage Jones right there.
That is total savage right
Hey,
there,
Alex. Much like I said to Darby, the next time Dad comes on the show, you both are welcome at the new studio. It's my house, Basement Jones type thing. But you guys were great the first time. Love to have you back another time. And I see you doing great things. You've definitely become your own young lady. And I'm so glad you're not teasing me with sticks saying, this is a magic wand. Chris, I just turned you into a frog. No, you didn't. I'm sitting right here watching the Yankees game. No, seriously, you're a frog. Okay.
You make me sound like such a stupid child compared to how you were describing Darby.
Well, no, wait. Let me finish. There were times.
Books on your lap too.
That's true, but when you threw the books on my lap, you would tell me, because I had no effing clue what you were trying to read. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh, Chris, this is a fantasy book about six schnabitzfernum.com. And I'm like, oh, okay, and I'll read it. And you were right there with me. You know, I'm not going to put you and Darby in a contest. You're both amazingly intelligent, and we are so pressed for time. But it's great to have you on the line. Anybody who's listening, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, understand how much these children mean to Chris and I, and why they're a part of this show right now.
Two of the most amazing kids I've had the privilege of knowing in my lifetime. And
Alex,
I'm 47 years old.
Alex, the next time the TV's broken, what do you say when the TV's broken?
Fucking TV.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Lollimer family. Jim, Darby, Alex. Guys, come back as soon as you can.
And
Yeah, we will.
Mom, if you're listening, please don't ground us.
Darby, if I have anything to do with it, it won't happen.
Thank you guys.
All right, thank
All right.
you.
We love you, both of us.
Love you guys.
So much. I appreciate it, and I love you guys.
Love you too, Jim.
We love you, man. We'll talk to you
All right.
soon.
All right, Women Who Rock up next.
All right,
Watch.
make sure you and the girls watch, man. We're gonna have a good time.
All right, we're watching.
All right, thank you,
Awesome.
bro.
Thanks, dude.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Later.
Love you.
Bye.
All right, so guys, if you're out there and you want to donate, it's on the Loki and Jabroni Facebook page. It's also on the C&J Speedway Review page. It is also on my personal page. So no matter how you find the show or why you find the show, that's where you're going to find it. So get it done right now. Make sure you donate to this fantastic cause. And now, you want me to keep the jersey on or take the jersey off? I got my Ramones t-shirt underneath.
You can take it off.
I could set it on fire.
Oh,
Fuck you, Toronto fan.
It's fucking
Mad because you got bumped. I'm going to leave it on
fucking
now.
fighting words over there.
All right, what do we got for comments? Do we have any comments before we go forward?
Let's take a look.
Probably the internet sucks.
I got what do I
Wow,
got? I
yeah.
got hi Chris and Chris.
Morbier,
Morbier,
Malted Metal,
I know who that is.
peed in a bottle in the hallway of the
I
Civic
miss
Center,
Loki, not Rip
waiting for Motley
Taylor.
with Jabroni, a few pops at City Steam.
Okay, real quick on that story. There's a picture of it somewhere here in my house. I will not show it live on the air, but I think it was Jim and myself went to the Motley Crue Carnival of Sins tour in 2005. He had a Gatorade bottle, probably this much Gatorade, and the rest liquid courage.
Wasn't I with you on that?
That
show?
was the Meadows.
Oh, all right.
So we're in line, and Jim's like, I gotta piss. I'm like, well, we're 20 minutes from getting in, and he starts pissing in the bottle. Well, what do? I whip out the little camera, click. I got the bottle. I didn't get little Jim, but I got the bottle.
In a steady stream.
When I made the
Kind of
collage,
look like Fireball.
Yeah. but I made a collage. We got this fantastic pack of tickets that came with a laminate, guitar picks with all the band members' faces, a special ticket. So I made a collage. And part of the collage was the people we met, me and Jim outside, and this and that. And then there was fill in the bottle. And that was part of the collage because it was probably the second most memorable moment of the night, other than the show itself. Jim hated me for a while for it, but then again, now it seems like he is, he says big Jim. I say little Jim, but it's always little. We're the big, and that's the little. But amazing. Jim could come in here and talk about all the shows we went to with Lynch or without and have a good time. But right now, let's talk about women who rock. Fuck, the brainchild of Strikers McLynch. And do you want to lead off with a woman who rocks? We don't want to go like balls out super stories.
Were there rules to this? I don't.
No, it's just a list.
No, this is just personal opinion, and I want to say influential on today's women in rock and roll or even pop music.
Okay.
Even just straight up pop.
Yes.
As you saw, some of you may have saw while we were.
Yeah, you stole my list and took a picture.
No, but we had discussed it this week. We were texting back and forth. I unfortunately, because I had to work today, I left my notebook at home.
Well, that sucks.
But
and you're knocking shit over, but that's okay.
Whatever.
That's what he does.
Gravity. I know.
That's all he does.
I don't do cold opens. I fuck them up,
Yeah.
and I'm noisy. I'm sorry.
Interim. It's okay. You're doing the right job.
Interim.
This is the last time we hire your handy-capable cousin.
Wow. Okay.
Your cousin
because he's not very capable.
Yo, fuck this. I'll start.
Your cousin from another sister.
My list has no 1 through 10 or 1 through 15.
And this is in no order of ranking,
No.
and it's not preferential. It's just what we wanted to throw out there.
Let's set some rules out now. We throw a name out, reasons they're good, and we discuss it quickly. If there's a reason why you think they shouldn't be on the list, say it.
Hit us up on the comments, please.
Exactly.
I appreciate the back and forth in the comments. I think it's a great thing for you to tell us what you think.
Amen. Now, I'm going to start with, I have to, a personal friend. Whether she was with Jaded or Vixen or Rachel Platten or Chick 6, this young lady chooses the right people to play with. And I cannot mention the name Britt Lightning without mentioning Julie Steele. I'm going to give their stage names: Laurel Wolf, Hillary Blaze, Abby Dragon, Katie Rain, what have you. Britt Lightning deserves to be on this list from my perspective, because in this day and age right now, she shows young ladies that you can pick up an instrument, go out there and kick ass every single day of the week. And right now, with Brittany being in Vixen, with Lorraine Lewis now taking over for Janet Gardner as the singer, you still have Cher Ross, who I still have secret spank bank love for, and Roxy.
Hey, easy with that.
Britt already knows. We said it during the interview. And Roxy Petrucci on drums. Still,
she hasn't been back, if you noticed.
She wants to. Texting her this past weekend, man.
Creepy fucking white dude in the Bruin. He was jerking off to me during this podcast.
Cher Ross will never be here because I would just spew everywhere. But Britt shows young ladies,
thankfully,
especially
you'd be on Eddie, not me.
Right. From this area, Britt Brits from the Boston area shows young ladies from this area, if you pick up an instrument, you work hard, and you dedicate yourself to the craft, you too can be on the national stage.
I don't think people realize how much talent came out of Boston.
Oh yeah, Godsmack, Aerosmith,
Tons
New
of talent.
Edition.
New Edition, yeah.
Wasn't Stained out of Boston?
Stained,
or were they Connecticut?
Not sure. Hatebreed was Connecticut, but they suck.
Jamie Jasta. I like Jamie Jasta. He's a good dude. And
Jamie Jasta by himself,
and
great.
He gave back a lot.
Marky Mark.
Oh, yes, thank you.
In the Fuck Me Bunch.
Yeah, and Donnie
Actually,
also.
New Kids on the Block. I think,
Wahlburgers
was
in
there.
general.
Well, New Kids on the Block,
Cock.
New Edition were both founded by the same guy.
Right.
So New Kids on the Block was the white New Edition.
Arguments for or against Brit Lightning?
So you have more intimate knowledge of their music, and I had very.
Don't make this dirty.
I'm not making it. I'm
Brit-
not making it dirty.
Brit's my friend.
You know more about their catalog than I do. Having done a precursor listen over the last couple days, I will say she's very talented, and I think everything she's been in is really good. I think just in general, when you say women in rock or women in pop, they get the shit into the stick
More often than not.
more often than not than young kids like a 16-year-old like take the Jonas Brothers for example.
Or Liliac, who I'm trying to get on the show.
So I like the stuff that as the Jonas Brothers have done on their own solo. They're very fucking talented. However, you take a girl band and break them apart and put the individual components and put them out there and make them try to make them stars. They're so overlooked.
Understood.
And that started back in the 80s and 90s when the pop girl sensation kind of went nosedive down.
Yeah.
Tiffany, Britney Spears.
And unfortunately, you got hacks like Alanis Morissette who people thought that was amazing.
She's not an untalented person.
But she's not someone I would look at
But
as
she wasn't groundbreaking.
a groundbreaker. Thank you.
And I'm looking at groundbreaking people. So you mentioned Brit, who Brit. I'm sorry, I'm not an avid fan. I'm there. You are.
There's my girl, right back there.
Right there. Hottie McLynch, right there. Anyway, the future ex McLynch.
Are you honestly putting Brit on your list of future ex-wives? Because
Sure.
I have 2 future ex-wives on my list.
I've got like 5 of them on my list.
Oh, right, they're coming up.
But we share the same list.
I could never imagine, only because I've known her. This is now 15 years. I've known Brit. I've watched her grow as a musician and as a person, and there's just so much good that she does. And if we're taking too much time on Brit Lightning, who cares? It's Brit fucking Lightning. She's killing it with Vixen. She killed it with Chick 6. She killed it with Alejandro Sanz. She killed it with Jaded. Go look up anything Brit Lightning has done with Jaded or anything. Look up the Jaded stuff. Fucking fantastic.
And that's mostly what.
That's how I found her.
That's mostly what I focused on before the episode.
And she worked with a couple pop stars too. On their
Rachel
albums.
Platten, Fight Song.
Yep,
yeah.
the fight song. So this leads me into not my top pick, but my first selection, Joan Jett.
Oh, she's on my list. I got to cross that off. Tell me why.
She came out at a time in the 80s where metal and rock were dominated by men. There were no real female idols or rock stars.
Not in rock, no.
Not in rock.
No bands.
There were no bands.
You had Joplin, and you had
previous to that
maybe early Mamas and the Papas.
No, but you have to
not
look.
all female groups.
No, not. But her band was all female.
Yeah.
Down
Jones at the time, yes, but then when the Blackhearts came in, it was Ricky Byrd and a bunch of guys, but
when
didn't rock nonetheless.
When she was with
Runaways,
it was all female.
Cherry
Joan
Bomb
Jett,
still fucking rocks.
Fucking Lita Ford, Joan Jett, the whole nine.
Cherry Curry.
I mean, the movie they made out of that story sucked, but it gave you a good overview.
I like that movie.
I did.
It was good. It was like The Dirt, though. It only scratched the surface.
It's the
all movies scratch the surface.
It's the ABC special.
Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park went deep.
It's,
Bill Starkey proved that.
I stand corrected.
All right.
Trailer Park went deep here.
Go find Kiss 3 Science Theater 3000. You know what? Let's have Bill Starkey back on. I'm gonna call him tonight. We're gonna get him back on before you know it.
But
big ratings with Bill Starkey.
That movie was like like I said out the dirt. It was the ABC after school special version of the story. It didn't, it tells the story.
I didn't like it. Kind of pushed Lita Ford and them in the background. It was basically it was
Cherry.
Joan Jett and Cherry's biography.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
but when you
I'll agree with.
When you look at the source material, that's what they had to work with.
Because Lita refused to be in the project.
Correct. And Lita has a different.
Lita and Joan won't get along.
No.
And
to this day, I don't understand
Lita
it.
and Cherry do.
They could, you know what?
Well,
Lita, Cherry, and
that happened because of what happened during the evolution of their band. So there were people that came out as the front runners, but not front runners, but the front people in the band.
Right.
You had Lita, who was a very strong alpha personality. Then you have Joan Jett, another alpha,
and aggressive.
And Cherry was
okay being the B.
She was way in the back, and she didn't fight for.
Hello, Bristol.
Well,
I'm gonna say this about Cherry: as talented as she was not very strong-willed, and she was used more than anything, which is why she's not really in the music business today.
Well, and this brings me to a point I wanted to bring up about women in rock.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not marketable, finger quotes,
yeah,
whether your looks, talent, musicianship, whatever, that you can be the best fucking musician on the planet and be a woman.
Oh, I can tell you right now, talent is 15%.
2 people on my list will send that out the window. But going forward,
you can be an untalented musician as long as you look good.
Now.
Well,
okay.
No. This was
always been that way.
80s.
It was like that in the 80s too. Dude.
I was gonna say, did that
Elvis.
start with the 80s? Elvis wasn't that good looking, but people loved him.
He
Jimi Hendrix wasn't good looking.
I'm just saying.
Elvis had charisma. He had charm.
Women.
He knew how to work a crowd.
Right.
But if you're a woman in rock or a woman in music, period, I don't give a fuck whether it's now, then, 50s, 60s, 40s, 30s, back to the 1900s. If you don't have the look, you're not going to sell the record.
I don't know about the records. Music, yes, I'll buy it. Because
you can't break out as a talent unless you have the fucking
Are you talking
talent.
about women or are you talking about in general? Because Mick Jagger is still an ugly motherfucker.
I'm talking about women.
Okay.
Men in rock, Steve Tyler and Mick Jagger are the two ugliest motherfuckers in rock as far as I'm concerned.
Gene Simmons is ugly as fuck.
Yeah, but
I think Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons is just a little bit higher than fucking Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger
in the ugly scale. You're damn
dude.
right.
Bang.
Mick Jagger looks like a fucking condom that was used 4 times, turned inside out, and put into a fucking vagina with razor blades in it.
Bristol Bikini Kill was almost on my list. We'll get to that later. Going on my
point, he's still a talented guy.
Yeah.
There were much more, in my opinion, personal opinion, there were much more talented female musicians in the same time period that were overlooked.
Well, here, let me throw one on the list if I can, because Joan Jett, obviously on both of our lists, we know she's a pioneer, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer.
Do I get to throw someone out first?
Please. Well,
Eddie,
stop.
I always want to hear from Eddie.
We always do, but Eddie, the reason I thought you didn't bring anything to the table tonight because you're not a rocker, but then again, you have a voice. Please.
I'm going a little more modern. I want to throw out Ann Wilson from Heart.
I got the Wilson sisters on my list.
Amazing.
Go ahead.
I just got Ann Wilson.
Okay, Nancy, a fantastic guitarist and singer as well.
Well, she's more of the singer, and I think without Ann, she sounds like a pop artist. I'm just thinking turning rock. So there's something about Ann Wilson's guitar work that makes Heart not sound like straight pop music. They have a lot of pop hits, yeah. But
you might be right.
So if you boil down any Heart song and give it to Taylor Swift,
just take Ann Wilson out. That's
Miley Cyrus, any modern pop artist,
it's funny.
It's still going to be good. It's still going to be a good fucking song.
I'm not saying it's not going to be a good song. But I'm saying take Ann Wilson out and put in a Little John keyboard smasher.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
No, and
but it's still going to be a good fucking song.
I want to piggyback that point. You know, you hear all these bands. We talked about covers before we went hot about anybody who covers rock and roll all night should just be boiled in acid and their fat sold for soap. Poison. Poison could have been on this list, but they're not chicks. Having said that, how often do you hear a Heart cover? You don't. Do you know why? Because Ann Wilson's vocals are that fucking good.
No, I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying I think her music is entirely different without Ann.
If Nancy by herself as a guitarist, as a musician, fantastic. I agree with you. The 80s stuff that Nancy wrote, and I put the Wilson sisters on my list because you can't have one without the other. You really can't.
I'm just saying. I think
with the exception of Almost Paradise, which she did with Mike Reno from Loverboy.
And Ann Wilson's an interesting case where, speaking of like Cherry Curry and the way they kind of treated the front people, they would flash Ann in the videos and in all the photos.
Yeah.
And she wasn't the lead singer.
From the 70s to the mid-80s, and that's only because of Ann's fluctuating weight, which I thought was bullshit.
It was bullshit.
Brings me back to my first point, is that
or shoving her sister in that fucking welder's outfit for one of the music videos.
Yes.
Complete and total horseshit.
Which brings me back to my first fucking point.
Horseshit!
It is.
Oh my God! Somebody stole my gimmick.
It is horseshit because
Horseshit Jones.
It brings me back to my first point.
Yep.
I think that Adele is one of the most fantastic modern vocalists of this generation.
Actually, I got a news story about her.
Save it to the end.
Yeah.
But because she's heavy, they don't look at her. They don't respect her as much as she should be respected.
I disagree.
Meghan Trainor.
Christ, here we go.
I think she's beautiful, and I think she's talented. She's written more songs that other people have sang than people know about.
Yeah.
She's also sang more songs that my kids happen to think are anthems, which are just pap. But they're not anthems.
No, they totally are.
If I were you, I'd want to be me too. What does that tell a young lady? I should be conceited? Horseshit. Horseshit and horseshit.
I find the opposite on that. And she was actually...
Well, you're fired. Show's over. Good night, guys. Go ahead.
She was actually like the bottom of Meghan Trainor was like a contender for my list because the reason she wrote that song is because of her perception in the media and her perception by the critics. Because because she is a heavier set woman.
She's thick.
I don't care what they look like, and maybe I'm old school, much like you're old school, much like Ed's old school. I could give a shit if 5 fat guys or 5 fat girls get on the stage. If you kick ass, I'm paying money to see you. What I don't want to see is some talentless hack like fucking Miley Cyrus get up on stage and lick a baseball bat and fucking steal my money. Meghan Trainor, for what it's worth, is uber talented. She can sing
and dance.
And she is bigger. Let's be honest. I'm not going to go out of my way to say...
I think she's attractive. I think she's a very pretty woman.
She's a pretty woman, and I'm just saying she's bigger. She's not Miley Cyrus. She's not Katy Perry. She's not the norm. But what Meghan Trainor does, she sings her ass off, much like Adele, much like L7, who are not very attractive ladies, much like the Cycle Sluts from Hell, who Jim Lollimer wants me to mention. Thank you, Jim, for that. Big ups. Woo-hoo. Not attractive ladies, but if you can get up there and you can kick ass, that's the point.
I'll be bold, and I'll say Meghan Trainor has actually put some soul back in pop music.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
And Meghan Trainor, Adele, the girl who always covers her face. Sia. I love her. I think she's amazing.
She's like our age. She's not like a young.
She's not a
star.
young kid, and she's written more songs that other people have sang than people realize. Right. She has written some amazing pop songs.
I don't think he can see past the gimmick with her.
With Sia?
Yeah.
I get the song. I actually like the song that I remember that the kids played me. I can't remember the name of it, but
I mean,
see, that's why
I dig it.
That's why I have the
discussion is good.
discussion because it's the three of us. We riff and we get 3 totally different perspectives.
Of course,
I don't think we even started Meghan Trainor. Who did who are we talking about initially?
Somebody mentioned Meghan Trainor.
It started with
the Wilson sisters.
The Wilson sisters.
And
and
Wilson.
Anne being
Oh,
at
the
the
one
one
way they
and being the larger
her fluctuating weight.
right. And
Yeah.
Which
When you
now,
look-
if you
when you look
see,
at- when you
I
look-
saw Ann Wilson 2 years ago at the Toyota Gimmick Dome up in Wallingford. What they used to call
Probably
it.
both look great.
Quickly, you're on the hook now. What was the place in Wallingford? It's now the Toyota Dome Gimmick Schnabitz Fernum.
oh Jesus Christ! I don't
Oakdale Theater.
Oakdale, yes.
Thank you.
The old Oakdale Theater.
She looked great. Nancy looked great. The whole band was on point. But again, if you look in the 80s, the weight went up and down, and people kind of made fun of her. And I was like, how do you make Aretha Franklin's been fat since day one, and she kicked fucking ass. Why is her weight an issue? With Adele, when she was bigger in the beginning, why was that an issue?
So
Because people could sense it was an issue for her.
all right, so people
Exactly.
are going to say, like last week, that I'm being racist and I'm making a racist
Hurry up,
statement.
because I got to get my chick in now.
Aretha Franklin, you mentioned her
God bless her soul. Amazing.
because she's black, and it's expected that they're going to be a thicker person.
Lance, if you're listening,
Go
it's
fuck
Chris's
yourself.
fault this time, not mine.
I'm going to tell you, go fuck yourself.
No,
Right
what?
now.
that is a preconceived notion.
Tina Turner,
Yeah.
beautiful woman,
Amazing.
thicker, amazing talent.
Thick in the hip area. Nowhere else. Just, oh my God, Tina Turner.
Those fucking legs, though.
When I reach out to the listeners,
Queen
Tina
Latifah.
Turner's coming up.
Queen Latifah,
Big lady.
because it's more acceptable in that community.
Mm-hmm. Look at right now. One of the hottest things going right now is those singing shows. Kelly Clarkson's not exactly a
She's
buck
always been
10,
thicker.
She was thick on American Idol,
but now
but
I mean,
she is. I fucking love. I
Amazing.
would marry her tomorrow if
she just got it. She
if
just
my
got
wife
it.
died today, I'd marry Kelly Clarkson in a week.
I'm gonna bring
because
up,
she's just a real person.
I'm gonna bring up somebody that if you saw them working in an establishment or you knew them in regular life, probably would not catch your eye whatsoever. But you strap a guitar on her, you throw some heels and some stockings and whatever. But again, let's go to what we're here for is the music. My future ex-wife, Lizzie fucking Hale.
Oh God, my God, Hailstorm is one of the best.
2009, I found
Yeah.
when their
No,
debut
no.
album came out. I was in Vermont. I had not yet moved back to Connecticut. I saw them at this dirty little club in Burlington. Fantastic. Moved back. Saw them at the Wolf Den. Got to meet Lizzie. Told her I love the band. My daughter loves the band. People I know love the band. She reinvents herself every time. If you are not a fan of Lizzie Hale, go look up Hailstorm. Go look up Bad Romance, their cover of the Lady Gaga song. There's nothing Lizzie can't do.
Fantastic.
And just amazing. But again, when you think of now or since, say, I'll put 85 as the cutoff, where looks started to matter. Lizzie Hale, when you put her on stage and you make her up, fantastic. I've never seen her without the stage gimmick on. Don't know what she looks like, but sexy woman on stage looks like Everyday Jones off stage.
And she seems to be a very relatable, like down to earth
Oh
person
yeah,
as well.
the 10 minutes I got to spend speaking with her in 2009, amazing. She's just so thankful for where she is,
and she knows her place. She knows where that the fans are what made that band because they have such a devout following. And
I have the Hailstorm O tattooed to me
born
to this day
to rise
from Freak Like Me. If you don't know where that comes from,
look it up.
I
YouTube
identify
it.
with that song.
Fucking listen to it. It's an amazing, amazing piece of music.
Lizzie Hale, in my opinion, every record gets better. And the band, Hailstorm, Joe, Josh, and RJ, the whole package. But Lizzie out there with a guitar, she's one of the main songwriters. She's out there doing it every single freaking day, week, month, whatever. Any objections?
I have no objections to that pick. I think she's an amazing artist.
One,
What's your objection?
the Falcons really need that tattoo.
Born
Yeah,
to
they
rise.
really do. Born to Rise Up. You're right.
They should change to
No objections. I haven't heard much of their music, but what I've heard, you can't.
I'll give you a couple songs.
You can't deny it.
Yeah. All right, Lynch, you're next.
Blondie.
Oh, Debbie Harry, like
Debbie
a
Harry.
motherfucker.
Yeah, that was one I was going to bring up.
I think that. So there was a documentary on Epix about punk, and
What was the name of it?
Punk.
Was it Erg?
No,
Because
Punk.
I just learned about this today from the mayor of Middletown.
No, it's called
I
Punk.
have to watch this movie.
It's called History of Punk, and
Okay.
it's I think 6 episodes, and it starts with the Sex Pistols in England.
Mm-hmm.
Their story, the Clash, Iggy Pop, and the uprise of punk during the disco era, during the mid to late 70s. And Blondie started as a cover band, and they were horrible at first. They were terrible, and Debbie Harry flat out says we were a terrible band.
I watched the Blondie documentary on Netflix, and they pretty much
And you saw what they were delivering back in the day,
in New York,
back in the
heyday
York,
of New York. Yeah,
CBGBs and all the other little clubs in New York, they were horrible. They saw what punk was bringing to the scene, and they changed the game for a female-fronted band.
Blondie's a fantastic pick.
And
Debbie Harry.
I think Debbie Harry in her day was one of the most beautiful women in rock.
I would still. I'm sorry.
There are so many people that would agree with you on that right now.
Just because it's Debbie fucking Harry.
Amazing.
And
You
they still do awesome
take away
shows. If
you
watch
take away
them
the
on YouTube
you take
and
away the
stuff.
makeup, the wardrobe, and just put her in a room with a spotlight on her.
What year was it?
She's just a real fucking person who tells the truth. And what's attractive to me,
Can we throw out too? They were like one of the first bands to throw out a rap video.
Rapture.
You know,
that was the first rap song.
And she mentioned
Shoot your
Fab
dead,
Five
eat your
Freddy,
head. Fab Five Freddy.
You know, and they kept that trend throughout their whole career. They did a song with Coolio later. in their
Take
career.
away all the cool Blondie shit. When Debbie Harry went solo and did that Maria song, people still dug it. There you go. See? Right there.
Dropping fucking loads.
Boom. Who's right? We're right.
Of course.
All right.
Because we're
great.
Loki and Strikers.
And can I just say,
I mean,
Jabroni
she
and
was
Strikers.
awesome.
And Eddie.
She was awesome in that what was that? Tales from the Dark Side movie.
Oh, the second one.
The second one, not
No, the movie Tales from the Dark
There
Side.
there was
were
two.
two.
There was one.
No, there were two.
You're wrong.
Well, fuck
There
it.
was
wrong.
There were
Get-
two Tales from the Crypt movies.
Shut
Oh,
up.
that's
Give
what
it-
I'm thinking.
Give us your next pick.
My next pick. Well, we touched on her briefly, but I really think we should talk about her. Tina Turner.
Yes, motherfucker. Yes.
I love Tina
I got
Turner.
big- I got big-
always loved Tina Turner. She, like you said, she's beautiful.
I have huge respect for her and for what
Style.
Mhm.
style, talent, and what she went through with her relationship
Ike.
with Ike is she is
The motherfucker beat her right out of the United States
Well-
because she
well,
lives
from-
in Switzerland.
from like 1983, right, 82 ish to 89, 90.
Mhm.
She dominated the female
Yes.
pop genre.
Great point, but I'm going to throw this out here, and I was talking about this with the mayor of Middletown earlier, is that whereas when you look at 84 to 88 and all those pop stars, Sting, Bryan Adams, Michael Bolton, were putting out really, really good, they were churning out really great tunes. Where Bryan Adams and Sting and everybody went this way into the more soft rock 106.5 vein,
Right.
Tina Turner went this way with Simply the Best and Steamy Windows, and she wanted to be
Wow, Steamy
more
Windows.
there you go.
Wow, that's a good
One of
call.
my favorite Tina Turner songs of all time. She took it another notch higher. And when you see her live, which I did back in
I wish I had.
2002, Mohegan Sun Arena,
I wish I had.
fantastic show. She just owned that stage. She did 2 ballads and 13 just when she did was it Nutbush City Limits?
Wow.
Oh,
Fuck. And at 904 years old, still did the shimmy and all of that.
She
It
was
was
rocking those
amazing.
skirts.
Yes.
Those freaking skirts, those thigh highs, like well
Her
into
legs
her
to this
60s.
day at 704 years old look better than half the chicks I see out in
beautiful.
Can I be so bold?
A beautiful person.
You can.
Can I be so bold to say that in the height of the hair band, whose hair did they want to have?
Tina Turner.
Tina
Tina
Turner's.
fucking Turner's.
That's a fucking Vince Neil had Tina Turner's hair
They-
down
they
all
for
were
his
shooting
whole
for it.
fucking career.
And when Bryan Adams'
Boom.
sales weren't doing so good, who's the doctor they told him to go see?
Tina Turner. Boom. On anybody's list, easily. If I don't mention this artist, and this can be a quick hit before I go into other things, without Janis Joplin, none of this is possible. Janis Joplin, again, you go back to the 60s, not the most attractive lady. She sang her ass off, dead at 27 from a heroin overdose. Had she lived, she could have been Linda Ronstadt. She could have been Pat Benatar. She could have been all of these ladies that we heard throughout the 70s and early 80s. Janis Joplin had the voice that just reached out, grabbed you by the throat, and said, "You will listen to me," and you did.
And years ago, I did this debate with another friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh, she's so overrated."
Who said that?
I'm not going to bring his name up, but I'm just going to say that the discussion we had about it was, how can you, in your own conscience, say that Janis Joplin, who's...
Well, his argument is invalid because I got Janis Joplin with Tom Jones.
Oh, Tom Jones in the house!
It's not unusual to be loved by curtain dance. Dun, 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 dun. But anyway, I said, how can you say that someone like Janis Joplin was so overrated? And he's like, "Oh, I just don't like her voice." I'm like,
what?
Her voice changed rock and roll at that point because
it set metal on its direction for sure.
Right, basically, yes. Tony Iommi and Ozzy Osbourne.
I was just going to say fucking Ozzy Osbourne.
Thank
Ozzy
you.
Osbourne and Janis Joplin, raise it an octave, it's the same fucking voice.
Look, the
talk
in
amongst
his
yourself.
Peak,
So I gotta go take care of
Axl
some
Rose
business.
in his peak. That's channeling Janis Joplin. That
easily.
It's that high, passionate, driven voice, and it gives soul to the music.
I mean, because you've heard
for as much of a douchebag as Axl Rose is, you can't deny that he's a good frontman.
Oh, he's one of the. He was on point. I take the award away because he flaked towards the end, but he's on point to being the GOAT frontman. The greatest of all time. Like, I'd put him up there with Mercury on his own, not doing Mercury.
No.
Shit,
but I'm saying
terrible.
Appetite for Destruction, that album, and that whole tour, and all those videos, probably the best set of a metal frontman.
I think if they didn't fall apart during the Use Your Illusion recordings, because I like those albums.
I love those albums. I think
people give them a lot of shit.
I think Civil War is a great tune.
I think 2's better than 1, but Civil War being the big reason.
Yeah, I think that's a great song.
That's also the last song I think with the original lineup too, because
right, and then after that was Buckethead, and then they threw in.
Well, no, Adler was still in the band.
Oh, Steve, Adler
and then they
was
replaced
there.
it with Matt Sorum.
Yeah, Matt Sorum was touring with them after that.
See, I know some shit.
I know stuff. You're like the Fredo of our little podcast here. I know stuff. I'm not dumb. I'm smart.
Motherfucker, I'm not gonna let you throw it. I didn't think you know anybody.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I found Janis Joplin with Tom Jones, motherfucker.
And here comes
podcast. Shit.
Okay.
High Five Jones here.
I got High Five Jones. As I'm putting the cans back on, I can do things, Mike. I'm smart.
I'm smart, Mikey. I know stuff.
We got a female listener that wants her 10 minutes, and if you guys are okay, she knows her rock and roll. Are you guys okay with me?
I'm perfectly
dialing
okay
something
with that.
up.
Absolutely.
This may be an extended.
Bring it
Watch
on.
your ears. Watch your ears. Here
Who
we
is
go.
it? Our little podcast.
It's the mayor. It's the fucking mayor, and we're gonna
Bring
call
it
her
on,
up
Mayor.
right now. So da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're gonna hit the button right here, and if she calls you Rip Taylor, just
It's
go
not
with it.
unusual to be loved by anyone.
Here we go.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
it's the mayor of
Lindsay.
Middletown, Lindsay Freilich.
Woohoo.
Okay, so you got your 10 minutes of fame. We're talking about the women of rock. You've agreed, you've disagreed, you've gone one way, you've gone the other. You got 10 minutes. You have your list, and tell us why we're wrong, you're right, and where we've gone wrong.
I don't think everybody's wrong. I think when you digress to talk about Sia and Adele and the rest of those people, you're cotton picking mine.
Gotta bring them up,
rockers.
though. You gotta bring them up.
No, they're auto-tuned schlock.
I agree.
Come on, but why bring them up with women who rock?
Adele
Rock
doesn't
is
use
a-
auto-tune.
Is a killer.
No, Adele, I don't think does use auto-tune.
So, Lindsay, I have to ask you: do you listen to Howard Stern at all?
I used to listen to Howard Stern, but I don't pay to listen to anybody.
Okay, so
we know. I mean,
don't listen to it. Don't listen to
She
Eddie.
has donated so much to this show at SummerSlam and beyond that she gets the pass.
So 2 to 3 years ago, Howard Stern had Sia and a piano in the studio by herself, and she gave the most amazing performance I've heard live.
I told Chris Jabroni that you would go all sort of Liberace on me tonight. You have not disappointed.
What the fuck, Lindsay? Come on.
I can't help but think somewhere in America you're at RuPaul's party every day.
Hey, RuPaul,
Anyway.
if Henry
I'm
Rollins
sorry.
is there, I'm going to.
I hear
'cause-
RuPaul throws a hell of a shindig.
Right.
I've heard. All right, so I'm just
All
gonna
right,
throw
here's-
I'm gonna throw this out there. I've heard Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, Sia, and who the fuck was the most recent one I've heard? I've heard at least those three at least give amazing acoustic performances, unaltered, unfiltered, and their vocals were the strongest I've heard live ever.
Can I just maybe ask the question before Lindsay does? Do they rock?
I think they do.
Okay.
I think Gaga can rock, and I will actually give a nod to Miley Cyrus. She can sing her rear end off live.
She has an amazing voice. She knows her audience and she knows where she's going to make money. And granted, it's
Porn?
Yeah, exactly.
I wish.
Porn.
I wish.
I
But
don't
anyway,
know.
but bubblegum pop is where she makes her money. Lady Gaga goes from rock to pop to disco. She covers all genres.
Charlie Benante, a friend of mine, as if you guys don't know, drummer for Anthrax, sent her a T-shirt, and there's a picture that Charlie shared. It's like, she wears my T-shirt. She has told me what song she loves. She's real metal, and I get that. And I give Lady Gaga tremendous amounts of credit. Obviously, the performance with Metallica 2 years ago, fantastic. But a lot of, and again, I questioned you on a couple of these, like Sia. My kids love it. I'm not sure that I love it.
But again, it's ladies who rock, not ladies that flutter, not ladies that hoo-hoo and hoo-hoo.
Well,
It's ladies that rock.
as long as you're here, you have 7 minutes left on the clock. Show us who rocks.
I'll run through my quick list.
Can I ask you a real quick question, Lindsay, before you
No.
go? Just real
You're
quick.
taking away from her time.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
What do you think of Pink?
I love Pink.
Pink
Thank
is
you.
amazing.
I
But because she's a badass in many ways that are outside popdom.
and I think she basically is she was on my list, and I just wanted to throw that out there. I wanted to know what you felt about
She
her.
can stay on your list. So
I
let's
fucking
just
love
be
her.
simple.
She's another future ex-wife. I would marry her in a fucking heartbeat.
Well, you make me sick.
I've only gotten one future ex-wife off my list. Let's just continue with
all
Lindsay's
right,
list.
so let's go with
All right,
Lindsay.
So I'm gonna hit rockers, and I'm gonna hit some of them you may or may not know. But the first one you do, I'm maybe on a multiple list, Lita Ford.
Yes.
Period.
But that was on my list as
Yeah.
well.
Amazing.
I think we'll all agree on her.
Yeah.
Christina Amphlett. She was the lead singer of the
Divinals.
Finals.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, rest in
I
I
peace.
touch myself.
Yep.
And
But
she was
that's the
beautiful.
last- that's
She was
the last-
beautiful.
That's the last song and album they had was I Touch. The stuff before that was so much better. So much better.
It was
and so
more-
harder rocking.
It was before their pop fame, and
Yeah.
it was more.
Exactly.
It was more raw, and it was more real. It was like
Well, they were competing.
Much
in
like the Go-Go's when they were punk, and then they got the upstream mainstream
And
fame.
I was even going to go even deeper than that. It was like the Clash when they first came out. Their first album was so raw and
Oh, yeah.
so real and sexist.
Women, Lynch.
Yeah. Well, I'm going in the same vein.
I know,
Haven't you figured out he don't like women?
I did the same thing with the
love you,
earlier
Eddie.
gimmick. Yeah.
Hey.
So
Anyway,
the
go
next
ahead.
Next one I have, again, I'm keeping with the rock and roll, is Dale Bozzio.
Ooh. Wow. That's a deep one. That's
Really
good.
good.
And then I have a category called the Graces.
I'm stepping out for this one. I already know.
I have Grace Jones, Grace Slick, and Grace Potter.
Grace Slick already on my list.
And Grace Potter, our mutual friend, Super Bob Molsky came in and said, "If you don't talk about Grace Potter, I'll be upset." And I said, "Bob, it's covered."
Watch The Lion, the Beast, and the Beast.
Amazing.
That video, that song alone, period.
Amazing.
I agreed with Debbie Harry. I also have Chrissy Hind.
Pretenders, another great band fronted by a really good woman.
Yes.
And I agreed with Ann Wilson. She's got pipes. She's got amazing. Janis Joplin, absolutely no joke. My last person who's controversial, but I think brings it as far as rock, controversy, edginess, is Courtney Love.
Oh,
I can't.
Okay, Eddie and I are
I can't deny that.
No, Ed's giving the thumbs down, and look,
I think
go ahead, Ed.
when Hole first started, they were they were a punk band, and this is pre-her being
Kurt,
yep.
And it was raw. It was a raw
Even
band.
Celebrity Skin was before the blow up.
I think she gets a lot of shit because of what happened to Kurt Cobain, and that people blame.
I didn't like her. I didn't like her when the music was playing. Like,
does anybody want
my contempt for her goes back to high school. I always thought, I'm like, this isn't anything special.
When you were in high school, or when she was in high school?
When I was in high school.
Oh well, that's different.
Well, but you're looking at a four-headed monster there, fronted by four women who are musicians.
I'm sure the band is fine. It's Courtney Love.
I saw them live, and
we're talking about Courtney Love, though.
Yes,
but
focus.
But your focus. I'm Lynch. But
obviously,
I'm just me.
I saw them at Ozfest in 1997.
So it's after Kurt.
After Kurt.
Okay.
And their show fucking rocked. They were entertaining. She was very engaging. It was a great fucking show.
Okay, do you have knowledge of CPR?
Yeah.
Okay, you may need to get Eddie on this one. I know sometimes for me it's hard to separate the art from the person. And if you've been a fan of this show for 1 week or 200 episodes, which tonight is 200, you've heard me mention how much Chris Benoit should not go in the Hall of Fame because he killed a bunch of motherfuckers.
Can't we just have one
Shut
fucking show?
up.
Without Chris Benoit
Now,
in the fucking topic.
He'll never be yours.
The reason I say this is because I can't, myself, and I admit this out loud, I cannot separate Courtney Love from the controversy of Kurt Cobain. I cannot.
Well, and I think that's...
From all the books I've read, from all the documentaries, from all...
Yeah, but
everything.
Chris, think about it. Gene Simmons is in Nickelback videos.
Gene Simmons can kiss a bag of dicks, and actually, about 2 years ago, I actually wanted to start a GoFundMe to remove the Gene Simmons tattoo, and people lost their shit. Eddie will tell you.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, it was controversial. Yeah. We had the guy who started the Kiss Army, Bill Starkey, who was one of our favorite guests on the show, and I said that to him. He goes, "Hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea," and people lost their shit.
Look, man, GoFundMe's serious. You shouldn't be wasting GoFundMes.
Stop doing wasting GoFundMes.
And that's what I heard.
All right, in my 30 seconds left, guys, because I got to run.
You gotta go ahead.
One more.
Go ahead.
And for all the right reasons, Janis Joplin is in this list. Mama Cass.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I missed Mama Cass.
So didn't we talk about that just before the show?
No.
Mamas and Papas? Oh.
No, we did not.
I mentioned Mamas and Papas, but...
That was a couple weeks ago.
No, that was
tonight?
just before the...
Solo albums.
Oh.
She did have...
But
Cass Elliot had fantastic work.
Yep.
Again, another woman who had pipes and I think was overlooked in her day.
Yep, absolutely, and because of her size.
And I know people are... I know people are going to give me shit about this. And I stand behind what I say.
Just say it.
I stand behind what I say is that people's perception of actors, musicians, artists, what have you, the bigger you are, the less they give you credence. You could be the best fucking singer in the world, but if you're fat or you're plus sized or whatever term you want to put on it, they're going to think you're not as good as the girl standing next to you who's skinny.
Mm-hmm.
We'll save this for another show. That's women only, not men. I'm sorry.
I will disagree with you because I will say Ruben Studdard, who had the pipes to end all pipes, didn't he lose to the gray-haired guy?
No, He beat Clay Aiken.
He
and
beat.
shouldn't have.
He
Oh,
beat,
did he?
He beat Clay Aiken.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm mistaken. I don't watch that gimmickry bullshit.
But that goes back to the point I made. If you're male, it's acceptable. If you're
Luther Vandross was a big Kentucky Fried Chicken eating motherfucker, and people loved him.
I don't want to
Exactly, but
again.
they
I
didn't
don't want to
judge
bring
them
up a
the way you
controversial
judge women.
topic, but if you're African American in music and you're bigger, it's accepted.
Mm.
It's accepted because it's expected.
We're getting shut down next week. I can see.
I'm
this
just
now.
telling you.
So
I mean,
wait a minute. No. So for next time, because I do have to go, and I love you guys for calling in.
We love you
very,
too.
very much. I'm gonna with Queen Latifah because I appreciated that nod. I'm gonna go another nod for another show, which is badass rappers all the way around. Missy Elliott.
Absolutely.
I love Missy Elliott.
1,000%.
She's a very talented artist. I think she's a good humanitarian. She's very philanthropic. I mean, she has done a lot for the genre, and she's done a lot for the industry.
So, gentlemen, on that note, thank you again for letting me participate, but I must run, and you guys keep on your great work, and I love you guys, and the next charity thing I'm in, you know that.
You got it. She's the unofficial mayor of Middletown. She is Lindsay Freilich, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Guys.
We love you, and thank you for calling.
Love you, man. You got it.
You got it. Bye. All right. So who's next on the list?
I can throw one out there.
All right. Hit it.
Fuck, I had to look up her name, but Marie Frederick from
Marie
Roxette.
Fredericks from Roxette. Wow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't know. I love that voice.
She has a beautiful voice. She's
Oh my God. Remind me when
talk
you're
about
done with your
anthems.
point.
Talk
Oh my
about
God.
anthems.
Yeah,
she
I know.
has at least 2 anthems. One from Pretty Woman, and the other one, they had those 3 hits, but what was that?
They had many hits, actually.
they
I
did.
was working
they
in
had
radio.
It Must Have Been Love, and then there was one from their album.
Can I tell you mine? That
Yeah, go
really sold me on Roxette was Fading Like a Flower.
Listen to Your Heart.
Listen to Your Heart was great. But Fading Like a Flower, to me, when I was working in radio back then, Roxette was the thing. And I was like, oh God, I got to play Roxette again. When Fading Like a Flower came out, I was hooked. I was like, wow. Not only the song, Per Gessel, who was the male part of Roxette, wrote the songs. But when she put that out there, when Fading Like a Flower, if you haven't heard it, go after the show to your YouTube machine.
YouTube it.
Look up Fading Like a Flower. Still on my playlist to this day.
I might listen to them on the way home.
Love it, love it, love it.
You know what? Listen
Amazing. Eddie, thank you. I'm tipping my hat to you. Swig a beer to you, my friend.
You know how it started, too? Here's a funny story to show how superficial men are. Growing up, and I still do to this day, I've always had a thing for women with short hair, like the cropped hair, and she had that. And I liked the song, and it was just
She looked like Susan Powder.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God.
Annie Lennox.
Oh.
I was gonna say Annie Lennox should be on the list too. I mean, she's not much of a
why I didn't include her, I don't know.
She's not much of a hardcore rock act, but she's got some.
But again, so I'm gonna.
Her and her partner there got incredible.
Dave Stewart.
So
not to be confused with the Toronto Blue Jays relief pitcher.
Yeah,
the married, divorced, but still work together. A couple.
So
right
when I say
much
like Debbie Harry,
Dave Wolf, and Cyndi Lauper,
Chris, her guitar player there. I can't remember his last name.
Burns.
Chris something.
Yeah. Okay. Like fuck you.
Now I'm gonna look.
You don't know.
I'm gonna look that up so we don't look like amateurs.
Yeah, pretty much.
But oh, I just lost my point.
I know.
Much like that.
Fuck me. Fuck my life.
The married couple gimmick Schnabitz Fernum.
No, there was an artist I was
Chris Stein.
Chris Stein. So I was leading into an artist. I don't remember who it was, but
Shania
Short
Twain,
hair, crop top, Annie Lennox,
Susan Powder,
Susan Powder.
I don't know.
Jim Lollimer.
No, Jim, are you listening?
Jim, if you're still listening, don't pay any attention.
Don't pay any attention to the man on my left. So
yes.
Just throw out your next one, bro.
Yeah.
Right,
wait, that would be me next, wouldn't
Whoever's next.
All right, I got
No, we haven't got one.
No, I haven't.
You had yours.
No.
All right, never mind.
I
Go
threw
ahead.
out Roxette. We started talking about
Me,
Annie
Chris,
Lennox.
you. That's how this whole thing is gone.
So my next one
Go to Chris anyway.
is gonna be Shirley Manson.
I got her on my list. Very nice. Tell us why. Garbage fucking ruled.
And she dominated in her time frame. Dominated the charts.
Never swayed.
And
Never
never changed her vision, her image, her style. And love it or hate it, she is who she is, and she was a Lady Gaga of her day, I think.
Oh yeah. In the 90s,
she was
the original Lady Gaga, absolutely.
Because Lady Gaga, whether you fucking love her or hate her, she doesn't change who she is as an artist based upon fan reaction or critical reaction.
By the way, if anybody comes in, and I'm going back now to the live feed. If anybody references Madonna, you are immediately getting the banhammer. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Going on.
I'm
Nope.
I'm gonna keep my I'm keeping my comments to myself.
I run the page. I will throw the hammer down.
Not after I read that article where she was claiming ageism.
Yes.
And it's like, bro, you're like 60.
Well, it's relatability. In her day, she was amazing. You can't deny that from like 84 to 92.
No, absolutely. She's
like,
iconic.
With erotica.
Yeah.
And
I didn't like erotica. I tuned out for that phase.
But that was the top arc of her peak right there. Was erotica.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny it's a bad album. You may not like it, but it broke boundaries at the time because
I think it changed television and what they would start allowing.
It changed videos.
Yeah.
It changed MTV. If you tune into MTV right now, you know what you're gonna see? A fucking movie like Superbad or Wedding Crashers. There is no such thing as MTV anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gone. It's been gone for 20 fucking years since the real world came. World.
Well, now that you can watch music video on YouTube, there's no point.
So as much as they broke boundaries in 1980, what was it, 2 when they came out? When they first hit? They changed boundaries and broke boundaries for a decade, and then they just fucking gave up and said, oh, it's easier if I just follow these fucking clowns who live in an apartment in Seattle or whatever.
Right.
And because it's cheap entertainment. I pay this crew of guys whatever they get paid to follow these assholes around, to complain about how their privileged lives suck, and we can make drama out of it. That was that was the birth of reality TV. Was the real world.
Yeah.
But Madonna at the time, from 83 to about 92, 93.
She was the hottest thing going.
She was the hottest thing going, and she sold out every fucking show, every arena she played in. However,
still on my gimmick.
Whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny that she was a talented performer.
Agreed.
Now, in 2019, she has no connection to this.
She needs to. Now, I'm not saying she can't put out music, but she needs to accept that she's not entirely relevant anymore.
She has to temper herself with the fact that she's late 50s, early 60s.
She's 62.
62.
Okay, fair enough.
And
she has to temper herself.
Her fans are our age and up.
You know, it's funny.
And that's my point, is that she's so far removed from what is current that they look at her kind of as a joke.
Well, you know what? Let's reference Tina Turner.
Sure.
Tina Turner hasn't put out an album since 2001. Something's unplugged.
Yeah, somebody's got something.
Hello.
You need to stop touching the wires.
Yeah, stop touching shit.
Gosh. But Tina
I'll touch
Turner
myself.
hasn't put out
Newbie
an album.
Jones
Hasn't put out an album, I think, since 2001.
I'm going to look that up on the Google machine.
And
I want to
she's
know.
not still out there being Tina Turner. I mean, she probably does her one-offs and whatever, and she's still collecting a check for all those albums.
Yeah, she might do a Vegas show here and there,
but she's not going around saying, "Oh, ageism, I'm still the greatest pop star there ever was." She knows her time's come and gone, and she's fine with it.
You have to know what your use by date is, and if you don't, if you try to go past that,
her last album was called 24/7 in 1999.
So even before 2000.
Yeah.
So almost 20 years.
Somebody like Madonna, who again is a talented person.
And I'm sorry I didn't bring it up earlier. Private Dancer was a fantastic song.
It was. I think anything Tina Turner does,
I'm your private dancer.
I would
dancer for money.
Do what you want me to do. Steamy Windows is still my fucking favorite.
But going back to Madonna, she knew that in 2000, 2002, when Britney Spears was coming through the ranks, Christina Aguilera, that whole genre of and wave of young women in rock or pop.
Yeah.
She knew. She was like, I'm fucked. So she tried to go back.
She tried making out with both of them on stage.
Exactly.
Didn't work.
You see, it was like a PR stunt gone terribly wrong.
Especially because everyone was like, oh my God, Madonna kissed Britney. And Christina Aguilera was like, bitch, she kissed me too.
Well, and I'll put fucking Christina Aguilera up against Madonna any day. I think Aguilera is a much better singer.
If it's say Christina Aguilera is around the 80s, no, I think Madonna would body her.
But you put her, but just talent-wise. I'm saying talent-wise. I'm not talking about popularity.
Yes. No, yes.
I think Aguilera.
I think Madonna in the 80s, early 90s, if Christina Aguilera was coming around the same time, I think Madonna easily bodies Christina Aguilera.
You really?
Yes.
I think Aguilera has a better voice. I think she has a more diverse.
I'm going to disagree. I think Madonna's voice is better.
Okay.
I think Christina has a different and in some cases better charisma and approach. But you want to go voice to voice, Madonna buries Christina.
Christina's voice is superior over certain kinds of tracks. So let's say the two of them are like, all right, bitch, let's see who does the best jazz album.
All right.
Christina wins.
Because she has the right
type of voice.
She has the right inflection. She has the right range. Right. She has this, and
if somebody were to say, let's go toe-to-toe ballad albums, I still think Madonna buries her.
Well, Crazy for You is one of the best ballads in the world.
Yes.
You can't deny that.
Because honestly, I think Madonna's strength is in the fact that she's not all like Christina.
Christina does.
Christina can take you. Christina can sometimes take you out of the song with all that.
With all the hubbub, yeah.
I can concede to that because she does that whole operatic bullshit. Right. But I get it.
The rest of the gimmick, yeah.
In the peak, no, Madonna wins.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I think in that era, Madonna is unstoppable.
All right, we ready to move along? Because after this one, we're probably going to have to do quick hits.
That's fine.
While you do this next one, I'm going to listen to it, then go.
You do what you got to do.
Relieve myself.
Man, I was a teenager when I first heard this voice. If you're a fan of the old Headbangers Ball, which I certainly was, I know Lynch was.
Oh, yeah.
I was in bed. It came on at 1.
There was one night I saw a video come on, and there was the band members putting just speakers on top of cars, and then this beautiful, voluptuous blonde, I don't even know what country she comes from, and I don't care, came on with this voice that would cut you through the heart. Doro Pesch from Warlock. We are all you need. And I was so ingrained in what Doro did, what Doro does. Fast forward from 89 to about, say, 2001, Jim Lolliman, who was just on the show, we saw Doro, Dio, and Yngwie Malmsteen. And Doro came out on that stage to open the show and was just still as gorgeous as she was in 1989 at 104 years old. And legs, boobs, the looks, her face, the pipes, everything. Doro Pesch is what every rock chick should aspire to be. If you want to rock and roll, if you want to do what you do, Doro Pesch, and if Eddie's going to the Gimmick Machine, he should very much look it up. Doro Pesch was I think she's German, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that
sounds German.
Yeah.
German or Dutch.
Doro Pesch, and again, and Warlock went and passed, and they went away, and then Doro did her own thing under the name of, strangely enough, Doro. And sometime in the mid-'90s, they did a Kiss cover from the shittiest album right here. I keep it here for reasons. Music from the Elder. She did a cover of Only You, which if you've never listened to music from The Elder, go out and listen to Only You by Kiss.
She's
and
from
then,
Dusseldorf, Germany.
Thank you.
Yep.
Listen to Only You by Kiss, and then listen to the one by Doro. And Doro just blows the doors off of everything. Everything I've ever seen, heard, or listened to by Doro Pesch is amazing. Another female that should inspire kids today, much like my stepdaughter, to want to be in music. She's owned the stage. And again, I don't know. You got her gimmick up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. She got a pretty extensive catalog here.
How old was she in 2001 when I saw her? If you could throw that out there.
2001.
2001.
So that's 17 or 18 years ago.
Yes.
She.
How old was she in 2001 when I saw her?
Dude, if I could suck in math, hang on.
Not my problem. You're the producer. You should have this shit ready to go. Flat Earth Jones.
So 2001.
Yes. Don't make me do this. I don't want to say the N word.
Don't make me hit you.
The N word is Nathan on
been
the show.
37.
30. Fuck you. In 89, she was 14 years old. 89 when All We Are came out. 89 was the big hit, All We Are.
89 should have been 24.
So how old would she have been in 2001?
In 2001.
37?
Okay,
Ish.
so.
Ish. I'll buy it.
All right, so 2001.
Yes.
Take away her birth year
Of
1964. Makes
37.
her 37.
Yeah.
So she was 37
She was
when you
37
fucking
When
saw
I
her.
saw her. Okay. All right.
So
37
she's
goes.
not over the hill and saggy
Now,
like
do
you're
me
trying
a
to make
favor.
her sound.
Look her up now and see if you can throw a picture up on the thing. Doro Pesch today.
Yeah, I see her. Well, they got a picture of her in 2014 on Wikipedia. It looks
Oh,
pretty
she's
good.
still gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my
Beautiful.
God. You liked Warlock. You probably listened to Doro.
Fucking love
Thoughts?
Doro Pesch.
Seriously. Amazing.
Another pioneer of metal,
Mhm.
basically, for the era that she came up through.
Yep.
She inspired bands like Kitty,
Yes. Butcher Babies list Doro
yeah,
as
Butcher Babies, Kitty.
Kitty almost made my list, by the way.
It's on my list.
Oh, nice. So we'll talk about that in a second.
And the reason I feel that she ranks kind of high on that list is because a band like Kitty at the time, they were what, 15 when they broke?
Give or take 15, 16.
They were teenagers.
when they
were
did the cover of Run Like Hell from Pink Floyd.
yeah, and they were at Ozfest in '99.
Yes.
And they were 14 or 15 years old. And when they were asked what's your inspiration, Doro Pesch was on the top of their list. You can't deny that she gave hope to kids in rock and roll, metal, the inspiration to just fucking go with it, man.
Absolutely.
You're fucking 14 years old. What do you got to lose?
And you're female.
Honestly, you're female, and
And that's what I want to put out there.
And that's the biggest challenge in any industry, anything you do.
But when you think about it, rock and roll, when you think of your top 10 guitarists.
Well, when you think of rock,
one might be a female. When you think of here, what are your top 10 drummers? One might be female.
Sheila
And that-
E.
Okay, great. But and again, there's a 14-year-old stepdaughter upstairs that is drumming, and she does a great job.
And she has asked me several times about little tips before pre-show about how to do things. But
there's a part
I
where she's
handed
going
her
to
a full bottle of Jack, but her mom frowned at that.
There's a part where she's going to get discouraged because it's a male-dominated industry. I'm not saying she's going to join the rock band. I'm not saying she's going to go to the Boston Philharmonic with her drumming. But at the end of the day, she needs to know that there is room for females in the music industry, not just singers, not just people out there shaking their tits and showing their ass.
But it goes back to my prior point, is that if you're a female in music in general, you have to fight 3 times as hard to get half as far.
Brit fucking Lightning, and we're going to get her on the show soon. I'm going to make it a point before you leave. in 5 weeks to get Britt back on this phone to talk about this.
But do you
the
not
struggle of women in rock?
But do you not deny? Not even in rock. In Hollywood,
Are you shitting me?
No, no. Listen, the disparity in pay between your top male actors and your
Don't trigger me.
Don't do it.
I'm
not having this. Nicole Kidman makes $1 bazillion where
and you put her male co-star, who may be Brad Pitt or
because people want to see him more.
Hugh Jackman. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't.
No. In Hollywood, it's all about
who
what
they
want to
see and who's going to buy, who's going to sell the tickets.
This is what drives me nuts when people start crying about disparities in
It's
Hollywood.
it's another
These
issue,
are not
but finish.
people. These are not people. These are props, and each prop is worth a
selling
certain amount
points.
of money.
But I'm not in it for who the fuck is on screen. I'm in it for the fucking quality and the entertainment value.
Now, you could be the most quality actor in the world. Let me put this out there to you. Who's going to sell more tickets? Chris Lynch or Chris Pratt?
Chris Pratt all day fucking long.
So he should get paid more.
But his female co-lead should at least have parity.
Okay. Let me ask you. I have a friend who acts in.
So Zoe Saldana. You're talking about Chris Pratt. So Zoe Saldana. I have no idea what she made for Guardians of the Galaxy or the Avengers.
She should have been paid through the ass, is what I think.
I think she's one of the best additions to the whole Marvel universe in the last.
Are you using heroin? Because I see some scratches on.
Oh
your
no,
elbow.
that's from fucking Vera, the Great
Okay,
Dane.
fair enough.
She fucking smacked me last night. I would almost kill her.
Lynch
Anyway,
does not use heroin.
I do not use heroin. I'm not on the dirt. But
I watched a show the other night. Angela's watching it. It's called Little Big Lies, or Big Little Lies, or whatever. It's one of those pablum puking fucking Netflix, Amazon.
Yeah,
gimmicks.
it's on Netflix.
Now let me ask you a question.
I think it's from ABC.
I want you to put two names together,
Big
and they
Little Lies.
are related.
Okay.
Who would you pay to see, Zoe Kravitz or Lenny Kravitz?
Honestly, Zoe.
Really?
I think she's
as much awesome shit as Lenny's put out there. You'd pay more money to see Zoe Kravitz
because she's more relatable to the current.
Okay, fair, and that's a great argument. That's a fantastic argument.
So anyway, getting out of the whole Hollywood bullshit that I brought up, and that
Props.
Eddie I can see his vein in the middle of his head bulging right now.
It's like when the women's soccer team are crying that they don't make as much money. Like not as many people are watching women's soccer. I'm sorry, that's just a fact. And the only way to pay them the same as the men is to subsidize them.
Well,
which means soccer as a whole would hurt.
And I heard an argument today or yesterday, day before, about college athletes should be paid.
Yeah, we talked about that.
No, college. No, stop.
No. You're trying to get to the next level, which is where you should be paid accordingly.
Correct.
We don't have to beat this dead horse,
but anyway,
let me pay my stepdaughter for winning her softball game last week. Seriously, let me just dump her a check, $10,000.
Did you gamble on it?
No.
If you gambled on it, I expect you to gamble.
He went to Fockwood and put money on the table.
I'm not Pete Rose. Who's next on the list? And then we'll go five quick hits. I just did Toro Pesh, and it became how we pay Chris Pratt in the fucking movies or
whatever.
Some bullshit Schnaebitz Fernum. Eddie, you got something?
I'm gonna just do 3 quick hits.
Quickly.
3 quick hits. So first and foremost, I'm putting Lady Miss Cure from D-Light.
Nice. Oh. Wow. I'm adding a 6 quick hit.
I love D-Light, but let's keep it real. It was all about her. Even though I've met the DJ who passed away, I believe.
Wasn't Bootsy in that band? Because Bootsy should get all the credit.
I think he was. Yeah, but he used to DJ at
Bootsy Collins.
He used to DJ at raves and shit. He used to play house and shit. I've met him a couple times.
That was
but he passed away.
The Oriental guy.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. He was Japanese.
Yes. And
he was Japanese.
Don't say Oriental.
I say Asian. Okay.
Oriental actually makes more sense than Asian.
It does.
Because Indians are Asian.
Right, but they say the Orient, but you can't say Oriental.
When you say Indian, do you mean the Woo kind or the kind?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
The
man,
opinions
fuck.
expressed by Chris Lynch are, well, whatever.
Where'd you find this guy? In a gutter?
Found him at Mohegan Sun, strangely enough.
So the
working
gutter.
for the sovereign nation.
Working for the Indians.
Yeah.
Right. Native Americans.
Anyway.
Same.
Second up, because I have to put her on every list just because she's just an all-time great for me, Samantha Fox.
Nice! Oh!
And I'm throwing this out from left field, but I don't think it's got enough attention. MC Light.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to fucking love MC Light growing up. Cold
Quick
Rock
hit,
Party
good hit.
and
Yeah.
Roughneck. Like she was not only was she a female MC, she was a pretty hard female MC. Like
Yeah.
she was just like she was like that girl in the streets that you wanted to ask out, but you're afraid she'd punch you.
But she rocked.
And then say yes.
Right.
So yeah, those are my 3 quick hits. I think these are
All right, I'm gonna run down. I got
best.
six quick hits, and it doesn't negate where they fall on the Women Who Rock. But starting first, Christina Scabbia from LaCoil. If you don't know who she is, look her up. If you're gonna look up Lacuna Coil, look up Trip the Darkness. If you're gonna look up something she did more mainstream, look up Atulamon Megadeth. That she did the. In 2005, they did the rework of that song, which is from 1992.
no worries
Fantastic.
for the rest of your days.
Yeah.
Lakota.
No, not like that, asshole.
Not Hakuna Matata.
Not Hakuna Matata. Atulamon.
Atulamon.
Now,
A vis-a-vis.
next quick hit is Nita Strauss, which is a fantastic guitar player. She beat Orianthi Paginaris on my list, and Orianthi has been on the road with Michael Jackson. She's been on the road with Alice Cooper. She's dating / living with Richie Sambora, but Nita Strauss has more bite, has more oomph. Nita Strauss is the future of female guitar playing, right behind my friend Brett Lightning, who I brought up at the top of the show. My next one is Cobra Page from Cobra and the Lotus. Saw them open for Kiss. Cobra has some of the best pipes, much like Christina Scabbia, that you'll ever hear from a female ever in the history of ever. Let's go back down the list. Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless.
Oh,
now,
another good one.
if you're a geek like Eddie, you'll remember Taylor Momsen as the little girl who played Cindy Lou Who in the live-action version of The Grinch.
Never saw it.
Well, if you didn't see it,
Just kidding.
then you're
Yeah, I did.
fired. Well, that's Taylor Momsen, and she's
You're
gone on
fired.
to front The Pretty Reckless, who I saw with
Nice.
Hailstorm not so long ago. Wendy O. Williams deserves a spot on this list from the Plasmatics, from her solo career.
From her
Great.
porn work.
Oh, my God, everything. She's amazing. And one name that we did not bring up that I need to bring up, Pat Benatar.
Oh, absolutely.
If you
Holy
don't
shit.
like Pat Benatar, you're not on my level.
I was
Thank
trying
you.
to
Fuck
avoid it.
you. Bye.
I was trying to avoid it because it was low-hanging fruit.
I got it. But at the same time, she's a woman who rocks.
I love... you know what, though? You know what I lo-
Battlefield.
You know what I love
I mean,
about
come on.
Pat Benatar is at her concerts where she goes, this is a really, really good song to a really, really bad movie. And she,
Billie Jean!
She plays Billie Jean.
Yeah.
Yes! We can't afford to be in his... What was the name of it? Invincible.
Yeah. We will
Be invincible. We can't do it justice.
No.
I just watched The Legend of Billie Jean about 2 weeks ago and loved it.
I don't know why that movie had so much hate, but then again, I was in love with Helen Slater, so
Well, she was hot. Oh my god, when she gets out of
she
the
still
water.
is. If you watch Supergirl, she's
Wait.
still got
Oh, yes.
it. I'd still put her in that blue Superman, or Supergirl suit, man. She's fucking.
For as bad as the movie Supergirl was,
What?
it's worth it for her.
I love that movie.
Oh, I mean, was it Faye Dunaway as the bad guy?
Yes, and
I
in
mean,
the
come on.
words of Charles Barkley, terrible.
Terrible. It
Terrible.
was a terrible movie.
Terrible.
Terrible casting.
You guys just didn't see the European version.
Obviously.
Actually, I will say, Eddie
Oh,
is
here
right.
it comes.
The uncut European version is much better because
Little better.
they took a whole fucking story arc out of the movie.
Yeah.
Do you have any quick hits?
You took all my fucking quick hits.
Did I really? You knocked
You know,
over everything.
Get that
now
bottle
I'm-
off the mixer.
Well, that's him. You know what we're going to do?
Put it in the gimmick
Where
machine.
everybody can see. Right here. Watch. in front of Grinch Bear Jones.
And that's our tribute to
Mr.
Mr.
Loki,
Mike,
who will be back in 5-6 weeks. I don't know how many. June 10th? I don't know what the date is, but
I heard you whip this out. Music from the Elder.
I did.
Yeah, I heard you.
Doro Pesh covered Only You. If you want to take that with you, listen to Only You. No, listen.
No.
Stop.
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 I have
Just-
YouTube.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
You listen to Only You by Kiss, which
Okay.
is a fantastic song. One of my favorites on this record. There's two. The Oath is great. Only You is great. And I is great. So 3 out of 11 songs are great. This is a crap disc. But listen to Only You by Kiss. And then listen to Only You by Doro. And mind blown. Doro kills it. She owns it. That's her song. Much like same album, A World Without Heroes by Kiss.
Yep.
Passable song. Then go listen to A World Without Heroes by Cher. She owns it.
Well, it's like Bob Dylan. He wrote really good songs.
Bob Dylan can kiss all the
I
dicks
think he's
in the bag.
overrated.
Fuck Bob Dylan.
He wrote really, really good songs.
He
Which
wrote
one?
great songs. He just
but
couldn't
he
sing.
just could not.
Never had a top 10 hit.
Nope.
No, but he wrote good.
Until he joined the Traveling Wilburys.
He
Well,
wasn't the singer though, was he?
He was one of them.
Well, he was one of 4. Roy Orbison.
One of 6.
Roy
Orbison, Dylan,
Dylan,
Petty, Jeff
Harrison.
Lynne, Harrison. There was another one. Shit.
Was there another one?
No, I think we got all 5.
Yeah.
Those are the Traveling Wilburys.
And he sang 2 lines in the entire song.
He did the one. To lean on. That
Yeah.
was his gimmick.
Yeah.
Fuck Bob Dylan.
So
Fuck Bob Dylan.
I brought this up earlier, so this
No,
is
I
music
don't want
news.
to fuck Bob Dylan.
Go ahead, quickly.
No, we were talking about Adele earlier. So Adele, I'm loving this. This is
We talked about Adele when we had Shaman's Harvest on the show.
this is me getting like I feel vindicated and getting the last laugh. So Adele on her Twitter says, "I'm making a drum and bass album just to spite you."
Wow.
What?
Okay.
She is like making a drum and bass album. That's like a hardcore music genre in the rave
Yeah.
scene. She says she's making a drum and bass album. She's got a producer lined up, and she says she's doing it just to spite you. That's her general statement, just to spite you. And I'm like, yes, this is awesome. She's got fuck you money, and
Yeah.
she's doing whatever the hell she wants. If she pulls off an album like this, moving her to the #1 spot.
Okay. Real quick, around the table, from all of our lists, one song you think the listeners should listen to from anybody we've mentioned, starting with Lynch, going to Eddie, I'll finish.
Oh boy, where do I start?
Just pick one. That's all. One. See how that works?
Blondie, Heart of Glass.
Nice. Great song. Eddie?
God, gotta be Roxette. Must Have Been Love. If you haven't heard it,
It's a great song. You can't deny how good that song is.
Fading Like a Flower. I'm gonna upstage Eddie with Fading Like a Flower.
there's no
But-
upstaging. That wasn't part of the rules.
I'm gonna go with
That's fine. It's perfectly fine.
I'm gonna go with Lizzie Hale, go to Hailstorm and listen to Freak Like Me.
I'm gonna one up him and say that other song by Lizzie Hale.
There's about a million.
Yeah, it
that
doesn't
are
matter.
awesome.
Doesn't matter. They're all better.
Doesn't matter. It's all a farce.
Real quick, don't forget
Fucker.
to go to cafepress.com/Loki and Jabroni. Get all your Loki and Jabroni show gear, bumper stickers, coffee mugs, t-shirts. You can get the logo or you can get the Loki or Jabroni cuss word bubble gimmick going on. If you shop on Amazon, WWE, the Monthly Club, whatever, go to LokiandJabroni.com. Click our affiliate link. Make sure you check that out. If you want to donate to the show, it's patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. Please donate to the show. Go back to the Facebook page and please help Darby Lalamere get her goal so she can go to California and kick the shit out of every kid. Not that we want her to do it physically, but mentally, which we know she can.
We're not going to start fist fight here.
To
Kick-
crush your enemies
Kick
to send
the
them running.
shit. We're not going Cobra Kai on this one, but
and watch the lamentation of the others.
go kick the shit out of everybody else. And beyond that, I don't know what else we can say. These women fucking kick ass. We could do another whole 2 hours on this, but we won't. However, comma. Is there anybody you think we missed on this list?
Eddie, what do you think?
Anyone we missed?
Yeah.
The only other one I would have brought up was Patti LaBelle.
Ooh, nice.
If we're gonna bring up like Tina Turner and Aretha, Patti LaBelle is my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good choice.
Out of the Aretha Patti LaBelle feud, I go with Patti, which is kind of going left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not to knock Aretha, she was the greatest.
Yeah.
But Patti just did some songs I liked a little better.
Lynch, what do you got?
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson was definitely going to be on my list.
Rhythm Nation is probably one of the best albums.
Does anybody know what 1814 means to this day?
No.
Okay. Mine would be the Pointer Sisters, who did great work. The 70s were obviously disco heavy, whatever. But into the 80s, they put a little more oomph into their step. I'm just burning doing the Neutron dance with the guitars and everything. And what was the other one? Automatic.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Automatic, I had an argument with a friend of mine who shall not be named, but guessed it on the show earlier by phone, who thought that was a guy. And I said, no, that's the Pointer Sisters. Automatic was the Pointer Sisters.
It was.
And when I proved him wrong, he said, you truly are the Ayatollah of rock and roll. I shall stand beneath. And as well, all of you should stand beneath the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
That was 1983.
83.
Neutron
Yes.
Dance.
Yes.
I have an answer for you.
Good.
About 1814.
Good.
18. R is the 18th letter of the alphabet, and N is the 14th. Hence 1814.
Oh,
Rhythm Nation. Okay. See, Eddie answers the question we've all been wondering since.
I thought it was
By the
a
way,
year. I thought it was a famous year or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like
quick hit for both of you. Who played guitar on Black Cat?
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. I know the answer.
He also did some work with Run DMC.
Yes.
Fuck.
And he was in.
Didn't we talk about this before? No.
You and I may have. Yes.
Maybe after show.
No. Personally, we've talked about it. You might want to get into the microphone, like the job you're
do your
here
job.
to do.
Do your job. No.
Right.
Who the fuck was it? Oh my god.
All right. I will open this.
Me.
I'll open this up to the YouTubers. If you don't know, you just don't know. If you are listening to this after the fact, the first person that comes in on the Loki and Jabroni Show page when this goes up on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, whatever, first person to answer gets a Loki and Jabroni bumper sticker. Lynch, can you answer the question?
I can't.
Who played guitar on Black Cat? Do
not
not go to the Google machine. We are going to leave it at that. When we go off the air after Eddie says the two most famous words in podcast history, I will tell you the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making 200, the Women of Rock, so special. When Loki comes back, it's the celebration of 200 episodes. Lynch, thank you once again for being here.
And I
Eddie,
appreciate being here.
thank you once again for producing this and going through all our bullshit. And to you, the faithful, thank you so much for being here each and every week, you sick motherfuckers. With that, we throw it to Eddie Focus.
See ya.
Bye-bye.